Hi guys, it's Jay again from Ayaba's Wind. I am back to do your March 2021 spring forecast for the sign of Capricorn. I hope all has been well. We are going into the spring equinox this weekend. It's so exciting. So guys, if you haven't seen my previous videos, I'm a priestess in the Afro-Cuban tradition, so I'll be interpreting the cards and the information and the messages from an Afro-Cuban spiritualist perspective at times, okay? If you like what I'm doing, please like the video, definitely share, and certainly subscribe. You are so entirely and completely welcome into Ayaba's Wind family. We are a wonderful group of like-minded people, and so you will definitely grow by watching this channel, okay? Also, too, if you'd like a private reading, my email address is ayabaswind, WYND 999 at gmail.com. Okay. Keep in mind that some of the information will apply to you. All of it may apply or none of it may apply. And that's quite all right. Okay. And the information is going to come to you in the form of sayings or quotes. Okay. So Spirit is talking about you were born to be served. And not serve, not to serve. Okay. So Spirit is saying you were born to be a king or a queen. You were born to be a leader. Okay. And so it's about high time that take your rightful position. Okay. Spirit is talking about you are a spiritual sponge. You can go to certain places if you're, on holiday and you go to, say, the pyramids. If you go to all of these historic places, the ancient places, you could take spirits home with you. Okay, you could take them back to the hotel room. You may even see things in the hotel room. Okay, I have a god brother of mine who New Orleans. If anyone has been to New Orleans, New Orleans is a spiritually charged place. Okay. And so, the spirits appear to him, in the hotel every time they go every year. Okay. The spirits go to him because he is a spiritual sponge. And the same goes for you. Okay. So you definitely got to be taking spiritual baths, the white baths, which will be listed in the description. You got to be bathing regularly. Okay. At least once a week. And you can do it for one day or you can do it for 8 days, but you should definitely be doing spiritual baths regularly, okay? Especially if you work, in dealing with things of the dead, funeral parlors, cemeteries, hospitals, hospices, nursing homes, crime scenes, police, police, fire department, EMTs. Guys, you got to be cleaning off, okay? Because you can pick things up, bring things home, and that can create havoc in your life, all right? And stuff that you pick up is not yours. It could be someone else's. Spirit is talking about, at this time, Spirit is saying that you need to consider toning down, just toning down. Okay. Capricorns are very much full of pride. Okay. And Spirit is saying that is not going to work to your benefit for the next several weeks and the next several months. Okay. Spirit wants you to stay kind of low key and, just try to continue to keep yourself in humble mode. All right. Because this pride can be perceived as arrogance in some. And so those people who perceive you as being arrogant can start to throw things at you. Evil eyes, wishing you ill will, cursing you, doing spell work against you. Okay. So you don't need that in your life. Spirit is talking about at this time, you should not be borrowing any clothes. Don't do secondhand shops, thrifting, none of that. Okay. I used to love to thrift. But when I, went through my coronation, my into my journey into priesthood, all of that was taken away. Why? Because those are secondhand clothes. You don't know who wore those clothes. I don't give a damn if it's Gucci, Prada, Givenchy, okay? The person who could have worn those clothes could have been, wicked, depressed, suicidal, all these things. And all of those things stay stuck. There's a spiritual imprint in those things, okay? You could wash the clothes 100 times, 1,000 times. You can wash it in ammonia, whatever the hell you want to wash it in. There's still a spiritual imprint, and Spirit is saying, no, okay? Don't borrow clothes from your friend. Not even from your sister and brother. I mean, if you have to, do it, but you got to do a spiritual bath afterwards, okay? Because Spirit is saying that there's, energies, because you're such a spiritual sponge, that this is not good for you. It's not good for you, okay? Spirit is talking about someone who may be watching this. There could be father-son issues, okay? Troubled relationship. There could be issues with a father. You don't necessarily have to be a son watching this, but there could be some challenges with a father, okay? Spirit is talking about, just start to work on yourself. Try to identify certain things that you can improve, okay? And Spirit wants you to start working on that. Spirit's talking about adultery, okay? Adultery can bring you death, okay? You heard it. Adultery can bring you death. Now, I know we are in the age and time where menage a trois and hooking up with this one and that one and free love and all this is, okay, I understand that. But what Spirit is saying is if you are in a committed relationship, if you are married and you are stepping out, that stepping out is going to bring you death. If not sickness, it can bring death. Now, how could that come? What form could that come in? That could come in, you can have a tryst, a rendezvous with someone, a boo thing, a side thing, whatever, a mistress, Mr. Okay, you can have a little side thing, okay, and you could contract something that you can't get rid of. All right? Okay. And, HIV is, people live to 80, 90 years old, and there's medication. You don't die from it as long as you take care of yourself, okay? The other thing is you can hook up with somebody, but they can have a jealous husband, a jealous ex, a jealous boyfriend, a jealous girlfriend, a jealous wife. And amidst that, they can follow you and they could try and kill you, okay? Or they can try and do some spell work that is designed to take you out of the picture. They don't necessarily have to put their hands on you. So Spirit is warning you, be very careful of that. Spirit's talking about, reading and looking at stuff, whatever you're doing on the computer, whatever you're doing and it's dark, Spirit is saying you got to stop that. Stop looking at your phone in the dark. You got to turn the lights on, okay? Because Spirit is saying that, if you continue to read and study in the dark, that you will go blind, that there will be blindness or a loss of vision or a decline in vision. Okay, Spirit's talking about at this time, do not eat red foods, okay? That goes for cutting down on red meat, especially if you like to eat it rare, okay? No red foods, okay? That's not for the next several weeks. Not even for the next couple of months. All right. Spirit is talking about for you should not be eating the heads or the tails of animals. Okay. So if you like that shrimp, I don't know what you're going to do because the shrimp is all head and all tail. Okay. Oxtail. I used to love oxtail. Okay. No oxtail. All right. Fish tails, fish heads, no bueno. Okay. Not at this time. All right. Spirit is talking about, like I said, no rare meats. Okay. Because illness can result from this. All right. It's not a good look. Spirit's also talking about no ripped clothing. All right. You got this energy of you were born to be served and not to serve. So who was born to be served? Royalty. Do you ever see kings and queens wearing ripped clothes and tattered clothes? No, you don't. So Spirit is saying that they want you to step into your power, step into your your regal essence, okay, and radiate that. All right. And so I know ripped clothing is hot, the ripped jeans and all that. No. Spirit's like, not for you. No. Okay. Spirit is talking about, in addition to the ripped clothes, no holes. No holes. Your wealth can leak out of those holes. Okay. Not only that, your life force and your vitality can leak out, but also dark entities can enter in. Okay. Enter into your holes. Okay. And you don't need that in your life. You do not need that right now. Okay. Spirit is talking about, you need to really meditate if you are invited to go to a spiritual event. Okay. Now, what does a spiritual event mean? If you are invited to go to a revival in church, okay. If you are invited to go to a drumming, if you are invited to go to a misa blanca, okay. If you are invited to go to any spiritual event, you got to really meditate on it and you got to check before you go. Okay. These are places, yes, where, the God force is acknowledged and praised and worshiped. However, these places that you go to, a lot of times people don't smoke it out. They don't clear it out of spiritual energies. Think about it. You're going to a church. Who is going to church? People who are downtrodden, people who have been worked by a root, people who are sick, people who are in a state of despair and depression. Guys, you don't think that there are spiritual energies that are walking in that are causing this? Okay? These places, okay? And my tradition too, my tradition is not exempt from this. Okay, when you go to drummings and stuff, people think, oh, the drums are good. They clean you, they uplift you. But guys, if people are not cleaning out spiritually, those spaces, you could go in being the spiritual sponge that you are and pick up all kinds of osobo or negative energy, okay, negative spirits, okay? And then you come home and you feel knocked down, dragged out. Nah. Spirit is like, you got to check. You got to, you got to be mindful of your head. You got to watch your head, take care of your head, dress your head in white hats. You can look cute, put white hats, white scarves, put some coconut water on your head every now and then to keep your head cool. Put some shea butter on the top of your head, some cocoa butter, keep your head cool, keep your mind, your body cool. Okay. Spirit's talking about, you got to be careful taking risks. Okay. Some people may try and push the limit. And when you try and push the limit, that can push you over the edge. And then there's drama. Someone is wishing for you. They're wishing for your downfall. Okay. Spirit's talking about someone is trying to tie you or use some kind of sexual energies. And my head is tingling. Someone's trying to use some sexual spirits like succubuses, succubi and incubus to enslave you, okay, to trap you. That's what I can say. They're using brujeria or some kind of spell work to keep you tied to them, okay? It's really about tying you to them. So it's like, okay, what does that mean? You go to sleep, all of a sudden you get like this heat that comes over you, you get very sexual and, it just comes out of nowhere. Okay. Or you can feel, something touching you and caressing you. You may even be brought to orgasm without any kind of, masturbation or manipulation. Okay. Okay. When it gets to that point, oh no, you got to consult with somebody. You got to get a consulta. You got to get a reading. Okay. And it doesn't necessarily have to be with me. It could be with someone else, but you got to get a reading. Okay. Spirit's talking about you should not be crying over the dead. And you may say, well, what? Are you crazy? If someone crosses over and I love them, I'm going to cry. Yes. I'm not saying don't cry. what I'm saying is you can go and you can mourn and cry, but do not cry so much. Don't get caught up in that cycle of going into a spiraling down deeper and deeper into depression. Okay, that's no bueno. Because what's going to happen is that spirit, that person that you were crying for, that's now in the spiritual realm, is going to want to take you out of your misery. Is going to want to take you out of your pain. They don't want to see you in pain. So what do you think they're going to do? They're going to pull you over to the other side with them. And it's not out of being like, evil or vicious or vindictive. They want to put you out of your pain and misery. Okay? So what Spirit is saying is that you should really be grateful and thankful for the body that you are in. Okay? And while you are in this body, okay, because we know spirits are occupying a body for a certain period of time, Spirit is saying you better live in that body, okay? And don't waste it. Don't abuse that body on drugs and alcohol. Don't let people run through you like you are Grand Central Station. Okay, Spirit is talking about you better take care of your body, all right? And don't cry over the dead like that. You can cry a little bit, you can mourn, but that's it, shut down. Know that spirit, that person is now in spirit and they are with you, okay? They are with you and around you. You may not be able to see them, but they are with you. Know that. Spirit's talking about, this thing with friend kills friend. You got to watch your friends because Spirit is saying that someone will be abandoned by friends. You may need help, from a particular somebody and they could step away or not follow through. Okay, so Spirit is saying, you got to watch your friends. Spirit's talking about you got to be careful of being on stairwells. Be careful around stairs, be careful of falling downstairs, be careful of dark lit stairwells or, stairwells where you can't see around the corner, okay? Spirit's talking about, you got to watch any kind of bleeding from the mouth or in the throat. Any kind of bleeding, you definitely got to go seek medical attention with that, okay? It's definitely worth exploring. Someone either will work or has worked some kind of brujeria, some kind of obra, some kind of work, some kind of trabajo that is trying to affect you and impact you sexually, okay? So, the spiritual baths, when you're making your spiritual baths, because you got to activate those spiritual baths with your prayers, okay? When you are making those spiritual baths, you are praying for what you want and need to happen. You are not praying for what you don't want. Okay? Do not put your energy into what you don't want. You're praying for what you want. And you're praying for any negative energy to be broken. You're praying for all ties to be broken. Okay? That mean you ill will and harm. Okay? Spirit's talking about you got to watch for people taking from your house, stealing from you. Okay, because Spirit is saying that someone has sticky fingers. Okay, so you got to watch it. Spirit's talking, and the stealing, the stealing may not necessarily be a physical, like a trinket or an item. Okay, the stealing could be stealing your energy. Okay, the stealing could possibly be having their eye on your man or your woman. Okay, so you definitely got to watch people who you have coming to your house, especially leaving them alone. All right. Spirit is talking about, if you are a man or a masculine watching this, that someone may try to steal your wife or may try to steal your woman. Okay, so, in this particular energy that's around you, it is about theft. Someone may be trying to take something from you, taking away your liberties, your freedoms, taking away that which gives you pleasure and joy, okay, and happiness, okay? If you are in my tradition, in the Lukumi, Santeria, Candomblé, Vodou, Ifa, any of the spiritual traditions where there's been initiation, Spirit is talking about you wearing your blessed beads and wearing your blessed artifacts on you and going into prayer and meditation more. Okay. Spirit's talking about there's something with a job loss. Someone's job could be on the rocks. Be careful because a spirit is talking about betrayal. You could be confiding in someone at work about, such and such did this and that, or you can be helping this person at work learn a position, and then all of a sudden this person can take your position, okay, or do something to sabotage you and whatever. So spirit is saying watch for betrayal. Spirit's talking about there is a woman that's around you, or feminine energy that's around you, that is extremely jealous of you. Okay, so you got to wear the azabache, the azabache, or the black jetstone with a red coral bead. Okay, you can get the fija, the fist, the black fist, or you can get a black bead. Okay, but you need to wear that on your body. Okay, because this is going to cut the envy and the jealousy that's being directed to you. Okay. The spirit's talking about you got to be careful of pregnancy in the street. Okay, you got to be careful. And what does that mean? That means, like, if you are booed up, if you are in a serious relationship with someone, if you are married, you got to be careful going to the romping shop with a side thing, a boo thing, a mistress, a mister, okay, someone on the side. Because what spirit is saying is that, you could get this person pregnant or get pregnant by this person, and it can bring you shame. It could bring you drama. Okay. And it will cause problems for you. So spirit is saying, be careful of, frolicking at the romping shop with a little side thing or a boo thing. All right. Spirit's talking about, you got to watch your legs. You got to watch your ankles, your feet, your calves, your knees, your thighs, your hips. There could be some kind of pain that presents itself. I mean, it could just be like, out of the blue, possibly, and spirit is talking about, like, this is possibly due to brujeria, some kind of work that's been done to you to try and, like, slow you down. Okay, because keep in mind this energy that's with the Capricorns right now is that of an energy of someone trying to slow them down, to imprison them, to tie them. Okay, spirit's talking about, at this point in time, you go on holiday, be very careful of swimming in the beach. Okay, you need to give acknowledgement to the God force that lives in the oceans. And my tradition, we call her Yamaya. Okay, she could be Madre de Agua. Uh, what's the other energy? Mami Wata. Okay, and so anyway, she is the feminine aspect of God that occupies all the oceans of the world. And so, when you go into that ocean, it's beautiful to want to take a dip, to be cleansed in her waters. Okay, however, you just need to give acknowledgement. Say, I go, hello, I come before you here today. I am in such awe of your beauty, and I thank you for blessing me, for blessing the world with your oceans. Thank you. And then you can swim. You know what I'm saying? Don't get too crazy with it, okay? But just give acknowledgement to the God force that's in the oceans before you go in, because you do not want to get swept away. Let's just put it at that, okay? The spirit is talking about, you definitely got to give acknowledgement to your ancestors, okay? Your ancestors, want acknowledgement. You could set them up with a cool glass of water, okay? And a white candle, okay? You can also put some white flowers down, or if you can't find white flowers, put down a bouquet of flowers. You could put down some black coffee, some rum, some gin, a can of beer, because I know someone's ancestors like to drink. I don't care how holy, holy roller ish that they were. Somebody in your bloodline like to drink. Okay. You could put down a cigar if grandfather liked to smoke a cigar, or a pipe. If grandma liked to smoke her Newports or her Black and Milds, put down a pack of cigarettes for her. You could put down cookies and cakes and fresh fruits as offerings to your ancestors, okay? You'll always present it to them and you say, look, I thank you for being in my life. You have the bowl in your hand. I honor you and I praise you and I pray that you will help me to do the things I need to do. Blow your breath on it and put it down and knock 3 times. Okay, and that's how you give acknowledgement. You also should be saying prayers, at your ancestor altar or shrine before you walk out the door. Ask, the ancestors to protect you and to guide you. If you know your ancestors' names, first name and last name, or even first name, you say light, peace, and progress to the spirit of Anime, light, peace, and progress to the spirit of Jim Jones, light, peace, and progress to the spirit of, Beth Ann. That's how you acknowledge them. And then you talk about what you need to happen, okay? Or what you would like to happen and what you need help with, okay? Spirit is talking about, you should definitely be in prayer, okay? You need to have a space in your home where you can sit quietly, okay, with a candle and a glass of water and be praying, acknowledging the God force, acknowledging the God energy in the world, and not acknowledging the God in everyone that you know. Okay, Spirit is talking about if you do not do this, there will be hindrances. Okay, there will continue to be roadblocks for you. Okay, so it's very important for you to acknowledge God, but also your ancestors. Spirit's talking about, you would benefit at this time from doing research, ancestry.com, 23andMe, by doing some ancestral work, okay? I think I did the ancestry.com where I had to spit in a vial, and then they, you send it away, and then, a few weeks later, they have this whole, write up on, where you're from, okay? Spirit wants you to start exploring your roots. So it's talking about, because the reason why you got to explore your roots is that you got to honor them. Okay. You got to know where you're from in order to know where you are going. Okay. And I'm not talking about where you're from, like you're from Birmingham, Alabama. I'm talking about what about your ancestors? Okay. Spirit's talking about, you got to be alert at all times. You got to keep your eyes open. And Spirit's talking about, do not dream your life away. Do not start fantasizing and all this, because Spirit's saying that you can get lost in the fantasy and that can cause you problems later on. Okay. Your life will pass you by. Okay. And that this life that you are living, you're occupying in this shell of a body will be wasted. Okay. And the God force, has blessed you to be on this earth with a mission. Okay. Many of us don't know what our mission is until we get into our 30s or 40s. I'm saying this, my head is tingling. We don't know what, sometimes people don't know their mission and their calling until they're 50 years old. Guys, you have to go into prayer and meditation in order to figure out what that mission is, so you don't waste your life, or so you don't get taken off this planet prematurely. Okay? So I want to just say, you got to watch the people around you, because Spirit is talking about there's more than meets the eye. Okay? There's more below the surface than what you are seeing. And maybe what you're seeing on the surface is a mirage. Okay? Because what really lies underneath, there's a whole hell of a lot of things going on. All right? And Spirit is talking about friend kills friend. Friend today, enemy tomorrow. So be careful of talking about all of your plans, all of your dreams, all of your private, affairs and relations and all this with your friends. Okay. Even if you have this best friend, I'm telling you, best friend today, enemy tomorrow. And it can happen when you least expect it. Guys, if you like what I've done, like what I'm doing, please like the video. Definitely share and certainly subscribe. You are so completely welcome to the Ayaba's Win family. Here at this channel, I help you to spiritually evolve, and to empower yourselves to be able to progress successfully in this world. Okay. If you are identifying with any of this in this reading, or if you'd like to explore more deeply with a private reading, you can email me at ayabaswind, WYND 999 @gmail.com. Ciao.